You're welcome to today's teaching, or I'll say, you're welcome to this digital class. I know that this is the first of its kind, and I implore all of you to make the best out of it. This is your biology teacher, Mr. Gabriel Mekuleyi. I want us to as well have fun while we learn and do our best to improve our lives. Thank you. So we are going to start with general revision, part 1. We are going to start with plant nutrition. What is photosynthesis? It is defined as the manufacturing of food, that is glucose, by green plants in the presence of sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water, and oxygen is given off as byproduct. The word photo is coined from the word light. That means food is produced in the presence of light and some other inorganic substances like CO2 and H2O. And oxygen is given as byproduct, can also be termed as a waste product. Now you look at the chemical equation for photosynthesis: carbon dioxide reacting with water to produce glucose and oxygen. This is an anabolic process. What do we mean by anabolic process? It means simple substances join together to form a complex substance. Now, we look at the stages of phases involving photosynthesis. There are 2 stages involving photosynthesis. You have the light reaction stage and the dark reaction stage. The light reaction stage is where the water molecule is splitted into 2, and this term is called photolysis. The water molecule is splitted into 2, and the hydroxy ions further dissociate to give us oxygen and water. So the oxygen produced as byproduct is given off during the day. Then during the dark reaction stage, there is reaction with the carbon dioxide and the hydrogen ion to produce glucose and water. So glucose is produced during the dark reaction stage. Oxygen and water is produced during the light reaction stage. We also have another term for plant nutrition, which is chemosynthesis, the production of food using chemicals, and this is common among bacteria or other microorganisms that do not need sunlight to manufacture their food. Now, another topic we have here is growth. This is defined as the increase in mass and size of an individual. We see here that it is an anabolic process, as I explained earlier. Look at the stages involved in the growth of an animal. Number 1, the cell divides, that it multiplies. The cell will increase in size, that is the enlargement. Then the cell will be specific in action. If we look at the human body, for example, we have millions of cells in our bodies that include red blood cells, white blood cells, sperm cells, and they have specific function in the body. So unlike that of plants, it involves multiplication of cells, elongation of cell, that you see them growing long, apical growth. Then when they reach maturity, the cell is termed to have completed its development. And if we look at this picture here, the basic the part where cell division starts from is from the chromosome. Look at the structure of the chromosome. It has two sister chromatids, then held together by a centromere. So for cell division to take place, these two sister chromatids need to divide, and then they duplicate to form another cell. Now, let's look at types of cell division. Two types: mitosis, meiosis. Mitosis is the type of cell division that takes place during the growth and development of an organism. It also occurs during asexual reproduction. It takes place in somatic cells, that is, cells that are not involved in the production of gametes. For example, if you cut your fingernails will grow again. That is a process of mitosis. You cut your hair grows again. You injure yourself, you get healed again. Those are processes of mitosis. Then, the other type of mitosis is cell division rather, is meiosis. This is the type of cell division that takes place during the production of gametes. It takes place in sex cells or spores. And like I said earlier, the division of cells starts majorly from the separation of the sister chromatids, which in turn duplicate itself for a new cell to be formed. Another topic here we have is digestive system. This is the association of glands, organs, and enzymes to aid the process of digestion. The main stages in the process of nutrition in living beings include ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and ingestion. You see that injection is taking in of food, digestion, breaking down of food, absorption, the food is taken into the bloodstream, assimilation, the food is absorbed into the cells for development and maintenance of the body. And injection is the removal of unabsorbed food. And from the picture we have here, this shows us the parts of the human alimentary canal. Starts from the mouth, which houses the salivary gland and teeth, the esophagus, stomach, small intestine, and large intestine. The other glands we have here are the liver, the pancreas, the gallbladder. They have their own specific function, but they are not part of the alimentary canal because alimentary canal has two openings, the mouth and the anus. So here we have the summary of the human digestion. It starts from the mouth, then you see the enzyme that acts on the food in the mouth. It acts on cooked starch, which is broken down to maltose. Stomach, the environment of the stomach is acidic, and it helps to break down carcinogen to casein by the enzyme called renin, protein to polypeptides by pepsin. And we have small intestine, where we have the largest amount of enzymes. The small intestine is divided into three compartments. That's the duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum. The duodenum, we have the presence of pancreatic juice and the bile. The bile helps to break down fat and oil into droplets. That's the meaning of emulsification, breaking down fat into simple droplets. And you see the last part in the ileum, where the final digestion process takes place, and the products are absorbed into the bloodstream. Then we have here the topic called habitat. This is defined as the place where organisms live. And we have two types of habitat: marine habitats, terrestrial habitats. Although we do have arboreal habitat, but it is classified under terrestrial habitat. But here we're talking about marine habitat, estuary habitat, and fresh habitat, which are from aquatic habitat. Marine habitats are habitats that contains salt water. Estuary contains both salt and fresh, while freshwater, as it is called, we have little or no presence of salt. If we look at the picture here, we have different zones in the marine habitat, the benthic zone and the littoral zone. The benthic zone is the zone below the continental shelf, and the littoral zone is the zone above the continental shelf. If you look, we have the intertidal zone, Neritic zone, oceanic zone. We have the photic zone, aphotic and pelagic zone. If you look, we have the abyssal zone. The penetration of light can only get to the photic zone. That means the zone below the photic zones are always dark, and the oxygen level, they're very low. Then we look at the characteristics of the marine habitat. Salinity is high, density is high, presence of tides, concentration of oxygen is highest at the surface and decreases with depth. Currents are produced by wind at the surface of the ocean. Then as well, pressure increases as you go down the ocean itself. Then we have the characteristics of an estuary. The fluctuating current and salinity varies during the day, month, or year. It contains high level of nutrients, and the oxygen content is generally low. Why? Because of consistent movements of tides coming from the fresh water and coming from the marine water. And look at the characteristics of a freshwater habitat. It has low concentration